There are moments in life when people will come against you. They'll try to tear you down, spread rumors, and stir up conflict. It's tempting to want to fight back, to prove them wrong, to set the record straight. But can I tell you, the most powerful way to defeat your enemies is not by fighting them, but by rising above them. You don't have to waste your energy on battles that don't matter. You don't have to chase down every rumor, respond to every critic, or defend yourself to those who are determined to misunderstand you. The moment you engage in the fight, you lower yourself to their level. But when you choose to stay focused, to keep honoring God, and to walk in wisdom, you will rise above every attack. The scripture says, the Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Exodus 14:14. That means you don't have to get revenge. You don't have to scheme and plot. God sees what they're doing. He knows the unfair treatment, the betrayal, the opposition. And if you stay faithful, He will take care of what you can. Some people thrive on drama. They want to pull you into their chaos because they know that if they can distract you, they can slow you down. But you were not created to live in their mess. You were created to soar. Eagles don't waste time fighting with crows. They just rise higher until the crows can't breathe at their altitude. The best way to destroy your enemy is not to fight them, it's to outgrow them. Keep moving forward. Keep walking in purpose. Keep trusting that what was meant to harm you, God will turn for your good. One day, those who tried to break you will see that their words had no power over you. Those who tried to stop you will watch as you rise higher than they ever imagined. And when they do, you won't even need to say a word. Your success will speak for itself. Keep your head up, stay focused, and let God handle the rest. There will always be moments in life when you face opposition. People will come against you, whether through words, actions, or silent resistance. It's natural to feel the urge to defend yourself, to prove them wrong, or to fight back. But the most powerful victories in life are not won by engaging in conflict. They are won by choosing wisdom over war. When someone wrongs you, it's easy to react emotionally. You may want to argue, confront them, or retaliate in some way. But taking the higher road requires a different kind of strength. It takes discipline to hold your peace when everything in you wants to respond. It takes courage to trust that doing the right thing will bring the right results. Wisdom teaches you that not every battle is worth fighting. Some conflicts are simply distractions designed to pull you away from your purpose. If you spend all your energy trying to correct every misunderstanding, respond to every critic, or defend yourself against those who don't even want to see the truth, you'll end up exhausted and unfulfilled. But when you choose to rise above, to stay focused on your goals and to walk in wisdom, you will come out ahead without even having to fight. There's a story of a great king who was known for his patience and wisdom. One day a man came into his court, yelling insults, trying to provoke a reaction. The king remained silent, completely unbothered by the man's words. After a while, the man got frustrated and left. The king's advisor, puzzled, asked him why he didn't respond. The king simply said, "If someone brings you a gift, but you do not accept it, to whom does the gift belong?" The advisor answered, "To the one who brought it." The king smiled and said, "Exactly. And if someone brings you anger, insults, or negativity and you do not accept it, it still belongs to them." That is the power of wisdom. It allows you to control your response instead of letting someone else control your emotions. When you understand this, you realize that not every attack requires a counterattack. Some battles are won by refusing to participate. There's something powerful about silence. When people expect a reaction, when they are waiting for you to defend yourself or to argue, and you choose to stay quiet and keep moving forward, it frustrates them more than any words ever could. Your silence speaks louder than an argument. Your refusal to engage shows a strength they cannot understand. And more often than not, when you don't give attention to negativity, it fades away on its own. Wisdom also teaches you to pick your battles. Not everyone who challenges you is worth your time. Some people are only looking for attention, trying to drag you into their chaos. But you don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. You don't have to respond to every negative comment. Sometimes the best response is no response at all. Consider a situation where someone spreads false rumors about you. Your first instinct might be to correct them, to tell your side of the story, to prove that they are wrong. But wisdom says, let your actions speak for you. Over time, the truth always reveals itself. When you stay consistent in your character, when you continue to walk in integrity, people will see for themselves what is true and what is not. You don't have to fight to be believed. Just keep living in a way that proves who you are. One of the greatest examples of wisdom in action is seen in nature. Take the eagle, for example. When a storm comes, most birds hide or try to fly through it. But the eagle does something different. Instead of fighting the wind, it spreads its wings and allows the storm to lift it higher. It doesn't resist the challenge. It uses it to rise above. That's what wisdom does. It allows you to take opposition and turn it into an advantage. Instead of letting difficult people bring you down, you let their negativity push you to become stronger. Instead of wasting time on revenge, you invest in self-improvement. Instead of reacting out of anger, you respond with grace. And in doing so, you position yourself for true victory. There is a saying that the best revenge is massive success. When you focus on growth, when you stay disciplined in your purpose, when you refuse to be distracted by negativity, you will reach heights that your enemies never thought possible. And by the time they realize what has happened, you won't even be on the same level as them anymore. You will have outgrown the battle. In life, it's not about proving your strength through fights. It's about proving your wisdom through restraint. The strongest person is not the one who yells the loudest, but the one who stays calm in the face of adversity. The one who wins is not always the one who fights, but the one who knows when fighting isn't necessary. So when you face opposition, don't waste time battling it in the natural. Rise above it in wisdom. Keep moving forward. Keep doing the right thing, and trust that in the end, wisdom will always lead to victory. There is a power in restraint, in knowing when to hold your peace and allow your actions to speak for you. So often when faced with opposition, the natural instinct is to defend, to prove, to correct every false word spoken. But wisdom understands that not every battle requires a response. There are times when silence is more powerful than words, when walking away says more than engaging in an argument ever could. Life is full of moments when people will misunderstand you, misjudge you, and even misrepresent you. They may say things that are unfair, attempt to discredit you, or try to bring you down with negativity. The temptation is to confront them, to explain yourself, to make sure everyone knows the truth. But experience teaches that the more energy spent on defending, the more drained you become. The more attention given to negativity, the more it grows. A tree does not concern itself with the opinion of the wind. No matter how strongly it blows, the tree remains standing firm in its place. The wind may howl, it may try to shake the branches, but the roots go deep and the tree does not move. That is the power of confidence, of knowing who you are and refusing to be shaken by the opinions of others. In every season of life, there will be those who test you. They will push buttons looking for a reaction. They may criticize, mock, or try to stir up trouble. And the greatest frustration to someone seeking a response is to be met with silence. When you do not give them what they are looking for, when you do not lower yourself to their level, they lose their power over you. It takes discipline to stay silent when falsely accused. It takes maturity to resist the urge to fight back when you know you are right. But not every battle is meant to be fought. Some are distractions designed to pull you away from what really matters. When you understand that, you gain control over your responses. You stop allowing others to dictate your emotions. You refuse to let their negativity become your burden. There is a story of a wise old man who lived in a village where a younger man constantly insulted him. The old man never responded, never fought back, never even acknowledged the attacks. One day, a group of villagers asked why he tolerated such treatment without ever defending himself. He simply smiled and said, "If someone offers you a gift, but you do not accept it, to whom does it belong?" That is the key to dealing with negativity. Refuse to accept it. If someone tries to hand you anger, bitterness, or offense, you are not obligated to take it. You can choose to walk away. You can choose to remain at peace. And in doing so, you show greater strength than any words could ever prove. A person who is truly secure does not need to explain themselves to those committed to misunderstanding them. They do not need to argue with those who are determined to find fault. Instead, they live in such a way that their character speaks for itself. Over time, truth has a way of rising to the surface. Those who falsely accuse will eventually be seen for who they are. Those who seek to harm will find their own actions returning to them. When faced with conflict, the mind often jumps to all the things that could be said in response. The perfect comeback, the undeniable proof, the final word that would put an end to the discussion. But wisdom recognizes that even the best argument does not always bring resolution. Some people do not want to understand. They want to provoke. And engaging in their game only gives them what they seek. There is strength in walking away, in choosing peace over confrontation. It does not mean weakness. It means control. It means refusing to let someone else dictate your mood, your energy, or your focus. It means staying on course, not allowing small distractions to pull you off the path. Think of a racehorse wearing blinders. The blinders are not there to limit its vision, but to keep it focused. If it looked to the side at every distraction, it would never reach the finish line. In the same way, staying silent in the face of opposition is not about ignoring reality, but about staying focused on what truly matters. When someone tries to bring you down, the best response is to keep moving forward. When they speak against you, the best revenge is to succeed in silence. Let them talk while you work. Let them criticize while you grow. At the right time, your progress will be undeniable, and your success will be louder than any defense you could have given. History remembers those who built, not those who argued. The greatest leaders, the most impactful individuals, did not waste time debating with those who doubted them. They pressed forward, undeterred by the noise. They understood that their success was the answer. In the end, silence is not empty. It is full of potential. It is a declaration that the opinions of others do not determine destiny. It is a sign of inner strength, of self-assurance, and when used wisely, it is the most powerful statement of all. There will always be challenges in life. People who oppose you, situations that seem unfair, and obstacles designed to test your patience. The natural response when facing opposition is to defend yourself, to fight back, to prove your point. But true strength is not found in reacting to every attack. It is found in rising above it. Those who seek to bring you down do so because they want to see you on their level. The moment you engage, the moment you lower yourself to their game, they have already won. Rising above the attack is not about ignoring reality. It is not about pretending that difficulties do not exist. It is about understanding that some battles are not worth your time, your energy, or your focus. When you engage with every critic, when you try to correct every misunderstanding, you end up distracted from what truly matters. But when you refuse to come down, when you refuse to let negativity pull you into conflict, you maintain control over your life. There is a story of an eagle soaring high in the sky. A small crow comes along and starts pecking at its back, trying to irritate it, trying to get a reaction. The eagle does not waste time fighting the crow. It does not turn around to engage. Instead, it simply flies higher and higher until the crow can no longer breathe at that altitude. The crow falls away on its own because it was never built to fly that high. That is what it means to rise above the attack. Some people are only comfortable in negativity, in arguments, in gossip. They thrive on drama, on stirring up trouble, on creating division. But you were not meant to live at that level. You were created to soar, to move beyond petty battles, to step into a higher way of living where peace, wisdom, and purpose guide your decisions. The greatest battles are often not the ones fought with words, but the ones fought in the mind. When someone comes against you, the biggest challenge is not always what they say or do. It is the internal struggle of wanting to respond, wanting to prove yourself, wanting to set the record straight. But the moment you allow their actions to dictate your emotions, they have gained control over you. Rising above means refusing to let anyone else determine your peace, your joy, or your confidence. There are people who will never like you, no matter what you do. They will always find something to criticize, always have something negative to say, but their opinion does not define you. Their words do not determine your future. When you understand this, you no longer waste time trying to convince them of who you are. You stop living for their approval and start living for something greater. Rising above the attack means refusing to let bitterness take root. When people wrong you, when they betray you or speak against you, the temptation is to hold on to resentment. But carrying that weight only slows you down. Forgiveness is not about excusing their behavior. It is about freeing yourself from the burden of carrying it. When you let go, when you release the offense, you are the one who rises. Think about a hot air balloon. It is designed to go high, to reach incredible heights, but it cannot lift off if it is weighed down. The more unnecessary weight it carries, the harder it is to rise. In the same way, when you hold on to anger, when you stay focused on those who hurt you, you make it harder for yourself to move forward. But the moment you release it, the moment you let go of what is not serving you, you begin to ascend. It takes maturity to walk away from an argument when you know you could win. It takes strength to stay silent when every part of you wants to respond. But wisdom understands that not every fight is worth winning. Some victories come not by proving your point, but by proving that the fight itself is beneath you. When you rise above the attack, you force your enemies to face their own actions. They expected you to fight back, to react, to meet them at their level. But when you do not engage, when you continue moving forward, they are left fighting with themselves. Their energy is wasted because you never gave them what they wanted. In the long run, those who focus on negativity will see their efforts return to them. The ones who tried to block your progress will find themselves stuck. Those who spoke against you will eventually be exposed, but you will have moved forward. You will have grown beyond their reach, beyond their ability to affect you. Some of the most successful people in history did not achieve greatness by responding to every critic. They did not waste time arguing with those who doubted them. Instead, they stayed focused. They kept moving. They allowed their success to be their response. When someone tries to pull you into a battle, remember, you do not have to attend every fight you are invited to. You have the power to walk away. You have the power to stay focused. You have the power to let your success, your peace, and your purpose speak for you. So the next time someone comes against you, the next time life throws opposition in your path, make a decision. Do not come down to their level. Do not waste time fighting battles that do not matter. Rise above, keep moving forward, and watch as those who once tried to hold you back are left behind. There is a profound strength in remaining steady when faced with opposition. When challenges arise, when people come against you, or when circumstances seem unfair, the natural reaction is to push back, to defend, to fight for control. But real power is not found in aggression or retaliation. It is found in stability, in maintaining your focus and refusing to be shaken by external forces. Imagine a great mountain standing tall against the wind. Storms may rage, rain may pour, and the winds may howl, but the mountain does not move. It remains unmoved, unshaken, unaffected by the chaos around it. That is the essence of stability. Remaining firm in who you are, in what you believe, and in your purpose, no matter what comes your way. When people try to provoke you, their goal is to shift your focus. They want to see you react, to pull you into conflict, to make you lose sight of what truly matters. But when you refuse to be moved, when you remain steady in your purpose, you take away their power. They may try to shake you, but you remain standing. They may try to distract you, but you keep moving forward. And in doing so, you win without ever having to fight. There is a wisdom in understanding that not every battle is yours to fight. Some situations resolve themselves when you simply refuse to engage. When someone spreads rumors about you, the temptation is to defend yourself, to set the record straight, but the truth always has a way of coming to light. Over time, people will see through the lies, and those who tried to bring you down will be exposed by their own actions. Your job is not to chase down every false word. It is to remain steady in your integrity, allowing time to reveal the truth. Consider a candle in a dark room. The darkness may press in on it, but as long as the flame remains steady, it continues to shine. It does not flicker wildly in fear of the darkness. It does not shrink back when surrounded. Instead, it remains strong, unwavering, and in doing so, it overcomes the darkness. In the same way, when you refuse to be moved by negativity, when you stand firm in your convictions, you bring light into situations that others meant for harm. One of the greatest tests of strength is learning to remain calm in the face of provocation. When someone pushes your buttons, when they try to anger or frustrate you, your reaction determines who holds the power. If they succeed in getting an emotional response from you, they have won. But if you remain calm, if you choose peace over reaction, you remain in control. There is a story of a wise man who was constantly criticized by his enemies. They tried to humiliate him, to drag him into arguments, to make him lose his composure. But he never reacted. One day a student asked him, "How do you remain so peaceful when people treat you unfairly?" The wise man smiled and said, "If a person offers you a gift and you do not accept it, who does the gift belong to?" The student replied, "To the one who offered it." The wise man nodded. "Exactly. If someone offers me anger, negativity, or hatred, but I do not accept it, it remains with them." That is the power of stability. Refusing to accept what does not serve you. People will try to give you offense, anger, and frustration, but you have the choice to reject it. You do not have to take on their negativity. You do not have to be burdened by their opinions. When you remain steady, you leave their words and actions with them while you continue to walk in peace. A tree with deep roots does not fall in the storm. It may bend, it may sway, but because its foundation is strong, it remains standing. In life, your foundation is what keeps you steady. When you know who you are, when you trust in your purpose, when you refuse to be defined by external forces, you become unshakable. People will always have opinions. They will criticize, they will misunderstand, they will judge, but their words do not determine your destiny. If you allow their negativity to shake you, you give them control over your life. But if you remain steady, if you stay focused, their words will have no power over you. One of the greatest strategies for overcoming opposition is consistency. When you remain steady in your work, in your values, and in your purpose, those who try to bring you down will eventually grow tired. They will see that their efforts do not affect you, that their negativity does not change your core. And in the end, they will be the ones who fall away. History remembers those who stood firm. The greatest leaders, the most successful people, were not those who fought every battle, but those who remained unwavering in the face of challenge. They refused to be distracted by opposition. They refused to lower themselves to petty fights. Instead, they remained focused, and in doing so, they achieved greatness. When you remain steady, you force your enemies to confront their own actions. They expected you to react, to be pulled into conflict, to lower yourself to their level, but when you do not, they are left with nothing to fight against. Their energy is wasted, their attacks fall flat, and they are left standing alone while you continue to move forward. The next time you face opposition, remember, you do not have to respond to everything. You do not have to prove yourself to anyone. Your stability, your consistency, your peace, these are your greatest weapons. When you refuse to be shaken When you refuse to be moved by negativity, you disarm those who seek to bring you down. So stand firm, stay steady, keep moving forward, and watch as those who once opposed you fade into the background while you rise to greater heights. When facing adversity, one of the most effective strategies is to remain patient and let time work in your favor. Life has a way of revealing the truth, exposing deception, and rewarding those who stay committed to their purpose. Too often, people feel the need to react immediately when they are wronged, to clear their name, or to fight against unfair treatment. But wisdom understands that not every battle is meant to be fought in the moment. Some victories are secured by endurance rather than confrontation. There is something powerful about knowing when to be still, when to wait, and when to allow circumstances to unfold naturally. Time has a way of bringing clarity. What may seem like an urgent need to respond today might be completely unnecessary tomorrow. The person who spreads lies about you may seem influential in the moment, but over time, their character will be revealed. The obstacle that appears insurmountable now may disappear entirely if you refuse to panic and allow events to play out. Consider a seed planted in the ground. It does not sprout overnight. There is a period where nothing seems to be happening, where the soil looks undisturbed, but beneath the surface, roots are growing, stability is forming, and the foundation for something great is being built. If someone judged the process too soon, they might say the seed has failed, that nothing is happening. But given time, the seed will break through the surface and all will see what was developing all along. This is how time works in your favor. When you remain patient, when you refuse to be reactive, you allow the truth to rise to the surface on its own. Those who try to harm you may seem to have the advantage at first, but in the long run, their actions will catch up to them. You do not need to expose them. You do not need to engage in a fight. Life will handle that for you. History is full of examples of people who were underestimated, mistreated, or opposed, yet time revealed their true greatness. Some of the most successful individuals were doubted at first. Their enemies seemed to have the upper hand, but they did not waste time arguing, fighting, or trying to convince people of their worth. They remained focused, they stayed patient, and eventually their results spoke louder than any words could. Patience is a form of strength. It takes confidence to remain still when everything in you wants to react. It takes self-control to hold your peace when others are trying to provoke you. But the moment you learn to trust the process, to trust that time will sort things out, you gain a tremendous advantage over those who are ruled by emotion and impulse. Think about water shaping a rock. A single drop does not seem to have much power. But over time, as the water continues to flow, it carves through the stone, changing its shape completely. The water does not force its way, it simply remains consistent, allowing time to do the work. In the same way, patience is not passive, it is powerful. It is the ability to stay steady, to stay unmoved, and to let events unfold in your favor. There are moments in life when it seems like the wrong people are winning, when injustice appears to be prevailing. But those who rise unfairly will always fall the same way. Those who take shortcuts, who lie, who manipulate may seem successful for a season, but eventually their foundation will crumble. You do not have to be the one to bring them down. Time will do that for you. Imagine two people running a race. One is eager, running recklessly, using up all their energy too soon. The other is steady, patient, conserving their strength. The first person may seem to be ahead at first, but over time their energy runs out. They begin to slow down. Meanwhile, the patient runner, the one who remained consistent, now has the advantage. The race is not won in the first few moments, it is won over time. When dealing with opposition, understand that rushing into battle is often a mistake. The more desperate you are to prove yourself, the more control you give to those who seek to harm you. But when you remain patient, when you refuse to react in haste, you maintain the upper hand. While others waste their energy on temporary victories, you are building something that will last. One of the most valuable lessons in life is learning to trust that justice will come in its own time. Those who mistreat others, who spread negativity, who seek to harm, eventually they will reap what they have sown. It may not happen immediately, but it will happen. And when it does, you will see that your patience was not in vain. A tree does not grow strong by reacting to every gust of wind. It becomes strong by standing firm, by allowing time to deepen its roots. The same is true for you. Your strength is not in how quickly you respond, but in how steadfast you remain. Those who try to shake you, who try to provoke you, will eventually grow tired when they realize that their efforts have no effect. So when faced with adversity, remember, you do not have to fight every battle. You do not have to respond to every attack. Time is on your side. If you remain patient, if you stay focused, if you trust the process, you will outlast those who seek to bring you down. In the end, success is the greatest response. While others are busy fighting, proving, and arguing, you are growing, building, and preparing for something greater. Let time work for you, and you will see that everything meant for harm will eventually be turned to your advantage. In life, there will always be people who oppose you, situations that test you, and challenges that try to break your focus. It is easy to get caught up in negativity, to dwell on what is unfair, and to feel the need to retaliate when you are wronged. But one of the most powerful strategies you can adopt is to keep moving forward, regardless of what others do. When you remain focused on your purpose and continue progressing, you automatically leave behind those who try to hold you back. Imagine a train traveling on its track. Along the way, people may stand on the sidelines yelling at it, trying to distract it, throwing stones in its direction. But the train does not stop to respond. It does not slow down to argue. It simply keeps moving because it has a destination to reach. The same principle applies to your life. There will be people who try to derail you, who criticize, who doubt you, who attempt to bring you down with negativity. But if you stay on track, if you refuse to let their actions affect your progress, you will leave them behind. One of the biggest mistakes people make is stopping to address every critic, every rumor, every unfair situation. The moment you pause your progress to engage in unnecessary battles, you lose momentum. The energy you could have used to build your future is wasted on things that do not matter. But when you make the decision to keep going, to stay focused, to push forward despite opposition, you take away the power of those who try to slow you down. Think about an athlete running a race. If they stop every time someone in the crowd yells something negative, they will never reach the finish line. Their job is not to respond to spectators. It is to run. In the same way, your job is not to engage with every distraction, every insult, every bit of drama that comes your way. Your job is to keep moving, to stay focused on where you are going, and to refuse to be sidetracked by things that do not contribute to your growth. There are people in life who thrive on conflict, who feed on attention, who want nothing more than to see you distracted. They will try to pull you into arguments, provoke you into responding, and get you caught up in their negativity. But when you do not engage, when you continue forward as if they do not exist, they lose their ability to affect you. Eventually, they grow tired because they realize that their tactics are not working. Success is often the greatest response to opposition. When someone speaks against you, you do not need to prove them wrong with words. Prove them wrong with results. When people try to limit you, do not argue with them. Show them through your achievements that they were wrong. By continuing to move forward, by staying focused on your purpose, you render your enemies irrelevant. Consider the way nature operates. The sun does not stop shining because someone complains that it is too bright. The river does not stop flowing because someone throws a rock into it. The eagle does not stop soaring because a crow is chasing it. Everything in nature continues its course regardless of opposition. It does not get distracted by small things. It stays true to its purpose. In the same way, you must learn to keep going no matter what comes against you. Many people waste years of their lives caught up in unnecessary battles. trying to prove themselves to people who do not matter, trying to get even with those who have wronged them. But the truth is, the best way to deal with opposition is to rise so high that your enemies can no longer reach you. When you continue progressing, when you outgrow the people who tried to hold you back, they become insignificant. Think about the great leaders, innovators, and visionaries throughout history. They were not without opposition. People doubted them, ridiculed them, and tried to stop them. But they did not spend their energy fighting against negativity. They kept building, kept creating, kept advancing. And in the end, it was their progress that silenced their critics. One of the reasons progress is so powerful is because it shifts your perspective. When you are busy moving forward, when you are focused on growth, you no longer have time to dwell on negativity. The things that once bothered you, the people who once tried to bring you down, no longer affect you because you have elevated beyond them. Imagine climbing a mountain. At the base, there are distractions, noise, and obstacles. But the higher you climb, the less you notice those things. Your focus shifts from what is behind you to what is ahead. The same is true in life. The more you keep moving forward, the less affected you are by those who try to stop you. When faced with adversity, ask yourself, is this worth my time? Will engaging in this battle help me grow, help me reach my goal, help me become who I am meant to be? If the answer is no, then let it go. Keep moving. Keep progressing. The best way to silence negativity is to be so focused on your purpose that you no longer even notice it. The best way to win against those who try to harm you is not by fighting them, but by succeeding despite them. So make a decision today. Do not stop for distractions. Do not waste time on things that do not serve your purpose. Keep moving forward and watch as everything that once tried to hold you back fades into the background. Your future is ahead of you, not behind you. Keep going and let your success be your response. When you face opposition in life, remember the true power is not found in fighting battles, but in mastering yourself. The greatest victories are won not by engaging in conflict, but by rising above it. Your energy is too valuable to be wasted on distractions, arguments, or proving yourself to people who do not matter. Instead, choose to outlast, outgrow, and outshine those who try to bring you down. You do not need to destroy your enemies with force. Let time expose them. Let your stability weaken their efforts. Let your patience frustrate their schemes. Let your progress render them irrelevant. When you refuse to react, when you stay steady, when you continue moving forward, you automatically defeat those who stand against you. The best revenge is not retaliation, it is success. It is becoming so strong that negativity cannot touch you, so focused that distractions cannot reach you, so elevated that those who once tried to stop you can no longer keep up. So stand firm, stay patient, keep progressing. Let go of what is behind you and move forward with confidence. Because in the end, the greatest way to win is to live so well that those who once opposed you have no choice but to watch as you rise to the place you were always meant to be.